Hey guys, I'm going to do another video here for Tour 6. And I have been doing a couple of these holes already. I would have did the video, but I was just doing other things, so I wasn't recording. Just playing like simultaneously. Multitasking. But anyway, you can check it. So how I have my bag set up right now. So let me recap a little bit here. So I opened as soon as I had enough trophies in Tour 6, I went ahead and opened the reward Tour chest that they give you. And it was like a King's chest. It's the first Tour 7 King's chest that you're offered in the game. And I went ahead and took that, and I unlocked Rapier, I unlocked Nirvana. I know I got Sniper, and there was one other one, I think it was Goliath that I got. Right now, the only thing Goliath has to really offer is power, and that's about it. So for the short term, I'm going to stick with Saturn, at least for a couple matches. I think I got Grizzly too. I unlocked a lot of things in that King chest, so just one of the things to keep in mind, especially if you want to spend a couple bucks. It was totally worth it. You can't. Those are the only times that you get that real good deal, to where they're not, basically taking advantage of you. And that's the one reason that I'd suggest, if you were going to spend a couple dollars, like I haven't bought balls or anything like that really, other than with the gems. Like I'll just use the gems because these chests have been coming with 800. So I'll just use those gems to either unlock chests to get clubs faster, and that's what I've been doing for Tour 6, because now that I'm in Tour 6, I have almost every club at my disposal. So when I'm doing these matches, you see I've done probably 10 or 15 matches in here. I already have 190 coins. So let's see if I can get a couple holes in and actually show you guys a couple things on this tour. One of the things that you notice is I did Big Dog for this tour. I think that's an essential club for this tour. It lets you really have shot shaping ability, which for the Southern Pines holes is very crucial. So it looks like on this one they're giving me a little bit of wind. See if I can get a little bit better wind than this guy. I can really give this drive a run for its money down there. You always have to be mindful of that left side. It looks like he got a little close. But I'll show you what I do to be mindful of that left. But if I get it more downwind than him, I'm probably going to go for this. But I didn't. So here's what I'll do to counter that wind. So I'm only going to do. So if you look at my white of my bullseye here, it's basically right on the edge of the fairway. In no means is it going to, if I hit it in that white of that bullseye with that 8 counter wind, be in the rough. So I'm going to do that to create a little extra hook on the ball. And I'm going to aim for the white of my bullseye. And again, I know it's going to be perfectly safe. In terms of, now the only thing I did there is probably topspin it too much because I didn't want it to go that long. But I know that it was going to be perfectly safe in terms of not being too right. In fact, I could have even got a little bit more aggressive than that, but look at that, I ran out of fairway because I hit it too far. So I was able to put more curl on it than him, even with his So I got it to the right of where he is, but I just drove it through accidentally there. So, not really that bummed that I'm in the rough here. Let me show you what I would do. Even if I didn't have the option of, even if I had the option to have more backspin here, I'd still use about 2 bars. Just an FYI here. So, how much am I going to go? Not very much. Maybe just a touch more than this. So you can see you don't really have to play the wind a lot, especially from the rough. Ah, I just missed. Let's see if, no. See, I didn't give that enough power to climb that hill either. So one of the suggestions that I can give you for that hole is not to leave it short. There is an uphill there. So make sure the ball's, now I thought with my rough fire there, that's probably one of the first times I've actually played that club, because I haven't been in the rough probably maybe about once since unlocking that Nirvana. So it's been the first time even really with exposure to that club. But I play with it on my other account. It's just a Tour 8. So it's quite the different club. It's probably the best rough iron in the game all around. And you'll be able to unlock those as soon as you get to Tour 7 matches. And this is one of the holes that I really like having that big dog for. So what I try to do is I like my landing zone to be about here. And I used to use the backspin from here as well. So if I make my landing zone here and then turn my thing, I might go 2-ish rings, 2 rings. I'll add just a touch of power, but you won't really see it because I'm not even going to go yellow on my bullseye here, and I'm going to curl it. Perfect ball. Let's see how this is going to come in. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad of a shot. In fact, that's a good one for this video. It's one of the biggest reasons that I like Big Dog on this tour. It has the distance to be able to pull that shot off. So, for example, when you get to the Tour 11 matches, you can't play this shot like that. Because see, this guy has a Big Dog 6. This guy has way more advanced clubs than me here. So you see what I was able to do with this hole? Sniper early on isn't going to be able to do that shot, but the more you upgrade it, you'll be able to kind of mock that on this tour and pull off something very similar with more ball trail. So I would recommend, like if you had like a Sniper 5, for example, Sniper 4, Sniper 6, as soon as you probably get to that, spot where Sniper has good curl too and still a decent amount of distance, then you'll be able to switch over to Sniper. But for the short term, especially if you can focus on perfect balls and actually get them, I really recommend Big Dog for this tour. You can just take advantage of people. It's like stealing because nobody's using Big Dog. They can't figure it out. It doesn't have ball trail. It doesn't have backspin. So everybody's just not using this great club that has all this super distance. And so my first time coming through this play, like when I was in Tour 5, Tour 6, just coming up, big dog, I was just cleaning out, winning most of my games, and it was just able to, you know, just kind of outmatch guys because that extra distance and extra curl that those other guys don't have, those Southern Pine holes, it used to be only Southern Pines. So it didn't used to have all these other holes. So when you're playing all those Southern Pine holes, you have a crazy advantage if you can hit those curl shots and have distance. I'd be getting on greens in 2, like that long par 5, and nobody, and it was just a slaughter fest my first time through. Now the game's changed a little bit, so it's not quite the same. Now I'm going to unlock this chest here. I've been trying to force my clubs to upgrade a little bit, plus also let's see, where is that one? Right there. Okay, so as you can see, I basically upgrade my clubs no matter what. I just don't like seeing that notification down there. Plus, I don't worry too much about money for the most part. Almost at $1 million. These are going to be 100,000 matches. I try to keep myself to where I never play a match that's more than 1/10 of my bankroll. So I'm almost to the point where I feel comfortable playing Tour 7. I'm not going to go on a 10-game losing streak, even if I was to go to Tour 7 right now. A little premature club-wise. My clubs aren't the greatest. I'm still going to be able to figure things out a little bit and be able to win some of those matches. So with a win like this, I'm glad this guy's going first because it's kind of going to decide what it's going to help me decide what I need to do. So he's going to have a little bit more distance than I do. Let's see if he can pull this off. Now, ideally, he should take off a little bit. Maybe basically just go right into that orange right there. Plus that little extra to the left is going to help him. Unless he ends up hitting that rough going across here because of that shank, which he did. So, especially with, so this is a hard decision. I gotta figure out if I can get over. It's gonna be too tight. I really, with that guy being over, now the only good news is I don't have to worry about him getting on the green, but I don't want to make this too hard on myself. So I'm just gonna follow suit and use. It's the first time I'm using a video with a Titan, but I feel like it's the difference between getting over here and not. So if you have a decision like that where you're on the fence, it's best to utilize your balls in those situations. See, I was able to get both my fairway bounces. I don't have nearly as much topspin as him. I played it a little on the safe side and didn't go full power. So this guy has a Hammerhead 3. This is another club I really like. Had I had this coming my first time through, especially on like a 3, I would be using this on this tour. This might even be better than Big Dog right now, the club that he's using. But I never had this unlocked early in the game. It took me quite a while my first playthrough. You see, he'll be able to get down there pretty good. I'll be able to get down farther. I have more topspin than he does. Plus, I have that distance thing on him too. Now I can't quite get it to the next. Don't quite have enough to get it to that other fairway. If I would have used everything I had on that first and really optimized that drive, I might have been able to fly it over that. But now I'm not going to be able to. And I'm going to have to just barely add a little bit of power here. Nothing. I'm just trying to get it over here to the right, and it looks like I added just too much. Man. I got a little aggressive there. I really wanted to get it down there a good ways. It's not going to be the end of the world. I'm going to be able to recover from there. That's part of the reason that I'll risk it, is because if I can get it down there to where I have a real close pitch. This guy has some pretty good clubs. He only wins about half of his games, but he has some pretty good clubs. So if I was this guy, I would have played this wind a little bit more. I think he's going to miss this to the left. It's because he didn't even move it left at all, or to the right to counter that. So here I'm not too worried. Plus I have the side spin now, so basically after 3 or so hops, this thing isn't going to do too much here with the backspin that I have on it. That's what I like about this club, is it'll just kind of trickle out just a little bit, and that's why I'll use 2 bars. And I just want to figure out how much 6 miles per hour is and do something like that. Hit it just enough to roll down that hill. Man, just an inch too hard. I'm not too terribly worried about being down here. I'm trying to think of what wedge I have right now. If I had down and one on, this would be a tap in. It'd just be a simple dunk pitch. If all these were Southern Pines holes, I'd definitely be using all that down in one club. I think I'm not using it because I just unlocked Rapier here. And you see the accuracy is just a little bit less. The bullseye ring is basically the size of this hole here. Still going to go for it. Still not going to play the wind. Just play it straight in the center of the hole. Don't short hit it. Don't long hit it. Oh, I couldn't hit a great ball that way. Oh, yes I could. And that's why the dunk is so effective. I was trying to bail out and if anything miss it right since the wind was blowing just a tiny bit. But even with one shank over, it was still enough to make that dunk. Now this is going to be a really tricky hole for me. Depending on the wind, and okay, that's good, it's downwind because I don't have a Goliath on, which means my club's a little bit shorter. It's nice that I did put the Titan on, because had I not, this could have been a challenging hole for me. If the wind would have been just wrong, I would have had to hit my big dog, which I have no way of stopping it on this hole. So this is the worst hole for this entire setup for me. So you see this guy kind of underplayed his wind. It started to come back a little bit for him, so it's not too terrible. Could have been worse. As much as he missed that right, it started to come back, so I should be able to beat that shot. What I usually do is I'll play it over here to the right And on tour 2, I was doing it like this. Now I'm going to add just a tiny bit because it's downwind. So I'm going to play it like this. I'm going to utilize this slope, trying to bounce it like right in here somewhere. And then I really don't know how much to go for this wind. So I'm basically going to just guess, and I'm going to go 4-ish so rings. I think I can over ring it here. I just can't under ring it. Like, I can't underplay this here because I don't want to miss like that guy did. And this is what I was saying. You can miss to the left because it'll just funnel down, but you can't miss to the right. So you'll see me overplay that, which I obviously overplayed it because you saw how left that was coming in. But it's just going to funnel. It's just going to funnel. And it's not going to take any funny hops. Sometimes when you see you going straight at that hole, it'll take a funny hop. And you see the way that I did it, it eliminated that scenario to where it basically runs true over there. It doesn't take any funny hops. It just kind of funnels to the hole. So utilizing the slope on that can be advantageous to winning that hole. Now, if he would have hit his shot a little bit better, it would have forced me to execute a little cleaner. But if you could kind of mimic my spin there and play it over there, and of course I overplayed my wind. Not overplaying the wind there, I mean, I would have been all over the hole, potentially putting it in the hole. So it just kind of funnels towards the hole there. And again, I'm going to open this. I'll do this a couple more times for sure. I'm really trying to get that big dog up. So I did get six clubs. Extra mile. Crap. There's skewer. I can maybe use that. I've been trying to get my big dog up because it's one card. I was hoping it was there. So, not much difference. It's so funny that Skewer 4 and Rapier 1, essentially equivalent clubs for the most part. This is the one I'd say, and I'd be using this club on this tour if it was only Southern Pines. No question. I'd just play everything dunk. The accuracy is right on point. If it gets up to a 4, who knows? I might even still switch to that and just really play more cautiously. For instance, if I didn't think I could get it up close to the green, maybe I'd just play it back and just lay up to short iron range to where I don't have to play not a dunk shot. Like, if I don't think I could get it close enough for an easy dunk, then I would play it back intentionally to be able to try to make it, keep myself out of wedge range, because what's the problem with that down in one club? You only get one hop. You have no ball trail. So I don't recommend pitching with that club. I recommend dunking with that club only. So this guy did pretty nice here. This is exactly how I tend to play it. Is leave it short, don't get too aggressive. Once you start getting into that little funnel area there, this hole kind of closes off. Now I'm going to use a navigator, give myself just a little tiny, I really wanted, since the wind's at a 7, I really want to restrict the wind a little bit. So I think I am going to go with this. And you see, again, the secret that I'm going to go with here is not getting too aggressive. I'm going to do 2 bars up. And you see where I have it pointed? I know this is going to go left, or it's going to go right. The wind's pointed left. I'm going to curl it, and I'm going to favor the right side here. But I'm going to go for perfect. I know that wind's going to push it back, so I know I can aim right on the left side of that fairway and not be too aggressive on the left side there, because I know that the wind's going to push it back towards the center, at least like 2 rings. So if you could visualize what that 2 to 3 ring range is going to affect that ball, and just kind of picture how much over that's going to be, it'll really help you out a little bit. And you see we hit it right here. We didn't do anything too fancy. We're not down there doing anything too risky. Now, his shot wasn't the greatest. I'd be kind of mad if I did that. I feel like from here, you should be limiting those mistakes. That really shouldn't be in play, that bunker. So what you're going to see me do is I'm going to make my second hop before the green. So it looks like maybe about there would be a good. And then I'm going to play at least a ring here. A ring and a half. So let's try this. And again, I'm going to be putting the thing in the center, trying to go for perfect ball here. Perfect ball. Wind should pull it back. Hopefully I got up. It's a little deeper than I wanted it. I like my second hop to be on the fairway there, and it hit the fringe. So this guy gave me a window anyway by putting it in the bunker. So I made a mistake because I don't really have much ball trail, but you can see my mistake. It's marginal. It basically just cut out the possibility of making it. It's still going to be easy putt. So even though you don't have ball trail, you can still use this club. You saw how I rotated the screen, and I was able to kind of size up where my second hop was going to be. All you have to do is think about how much the ball is going to roll out, and then just practice that too. Practice how much the ball is going to roll out, like visualizing it. You know how much, once you hit your ball on a hole one time with, say, the one backspin shot that you saw me do, just picture how much that rolled out, or visualize where your second hop was, for example. And then if that landing zone was wrong, adjust it next time. It's just something to think about. Again, I'm opening these chests. I keep getting miles. I mean, I'm not going to complain about the miles, but I'd really like a big dog right now too. Here's an interesting hole. This is another hole where I think distance could be a critical factor here. Knowing how far you can hit this down the fairway could be the difference between eagle and birdie. This guy hit a second hop there. So you might see me go a little bit more aggressive. This might be an instance where I pull out a Titan. I can easily beat this guy without a tiebreaker, especially after watching his drive. So, I don't have many of these Titans. I mean, you saw me do it the very first time. I might not need a Titan. I've only used one so far, and that's it. And it looks like with a 9 wind, I can almost go full here. I'm going to pull it back just a little, just to be on the safe side. And again, I'm not going to add any extra power. Probably going to curl it. I'm going to favor the right side on my miss, not shanking left. But I didn't miss. So let's see if I analyze that. It's not too bad. You see I used the Navigator. Navigator's going to make this second shot a little bit harder, but I think it'll still be doable. We'll see. Titan would have really made things a little bit easier for me. I think I can still get home from here, and we'll see. We'll also see what they give me wind-wise. So this guy, again, he's just compounding his problems. You don't need to force the issue here. Just put your second shot in the fairway somewhere up there. Give yourself a chance to hold it out as opposed to what he did. So I don't think this is going to be too bad. I'm trying to visualize second hop plus the top spin. I really think that this might get there almost stock. It's hard to tell. I'm just trying to visualize second hop. I got plenty of top spin this time. I'm going to do it with some curl, or with some side spin, I mean. Not curl. I'm going to just point it over here, and I'm just going to kind of go for perfect ball. I might just add just a tiny bit, because I'm really unsure. It's hard with no ball trail. I didn't want that shank that way. That might cost me. No, it didn't cost me. But it wasn't enough power. I need to go almost full there. Not saying I can't miss this pitch. But you wanted to make sure you don't go right there when the wind's pointed left or right. I kind of made a mistake. I would have rather missed left. Okay, so it goes back to the thing of where I was saying, like it's a 4.5 wind, right? And it's pointed to the right some. You know that you have margin of error at least like a ring and a half to the left. Like wherever you're pointed, that wind's going to push it at least a ring. So missing it to the right, and then that means it just makes you go that much righter, especially with the way I was aiming too on top of it. It's just safer there to miss to the left. But I got a little bit lucky. This shot shouldn't be too bad. Perfect ball might be able to seal the deal here. As you can see, the green can be a little glitchy. Alright, so we're going to get this hole again. You've already seen the way that I tend to play it. More up towards the fairway here. Utilize the slope with some curl. Focusing on perfect. Definitely want perfect. This one's coming a little bit deeper. Oh, just hit it too long. Man, I missed that by, a fraction of an inch. It's brutal. That is brutal. Let's see if I can still win that. I don't know if you saw there, but it just rolled over that ridge. I was only like 2 inches away from that funneling right towards the hole. It's a game of inches sometimes, and now I'm 15 yards. Probably gonna lose. So keep that in mind, especially with not having much backspin. Maybe play it, just a fraction here shorter to keep yourself out of trouble. I'm sure the way that this guy executes, yeah, this is going up there, no problem. So, all right, I'm gonna end this video here. Hopefully you guys could find some value out of this, and if you need any additional help, feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and good luck with your Tour 6 matches.